Hi again. The IronRock Tap House restaurant at Westmoreland Mall has been open since December. In a couple of months, the Pittsburgh Live Casino will open next to the IronRock, creating the greatest dining and entertainment complex ever in Westmoreland County and for miles around. Let's take a closer look at the IronRock with the owners. The newest, biggest, and hottest restaurant in the region. The IronRock Tap House at Westmoreland Mall. 10,000 square feet indoors. Another 4,000 square feet of patio space. I did a sit down with creators and owners, Christina and Greg Camarada. Okay, so when you decided to build this place, did you say, we're going to put up a knockout spot. We're going to rock this market?
Well, it didn't go exactly like that. It kind of came in stages. You know, we were looking to do a bar restaurant, and looked in Pittsburgh, looked a lot of different places, and Christina actually is the one that put her foot down and said that location right there in front of the mall is where we need to be. And you know, she's been in the restaurant business. Her family's been in the restaurant business, so I listened to her.
So you listened to her.
And so, you know, once we got into the project, it just kind of grew from there. You know, we decided, you know, to knock the ground round down, and then with the price of the land being a little bit higher in front of the mall, we said, you know, we really got to maximize our seating, so we went up with 2 stories. And then, you know, Christina getting involved in the design, it became nicer and nicer and more beautiful along the way.
Bigger and more expensive?
Bigger and more expensive.
Is that what happened?
Well, it did, but you know, in a lot of ways we saved money by me being the interior decorator. You know, I worked for free. And we used, you know, a lot of exclusive restoration hardware, decor and seating, and they gave us a wonderful price. So honestly, as expensive a project as it was still very economically done when you compare it to some of the other, you know, restaurants in the area. I mean, we're really proud of that.
Now you mentioned site, you mentioned you wanted it here at the mall, and everybody says, oh, of course, because they knew the casino was coming.
Yeah.
But you didn't, right?
No, we didn't. No, we truly didn't. No, my father, I grew up in the restaurant business because that's what my father did. He would look for a location, open a business, keep it a year, get the, you know, revenue up, and then sell it, and then look for another location. And so when I saw this location, I just thought it was ideal for a restaurant. Not only was it in front of a mall, but there aren't a lot of restaurants in this area. So I thought that, you know, as far as competition, we would be dealing with less of it here in a suburb than we would be had we purchased something in the Pittsburgh area, where the market's saturated.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it was probably, we were in the stage that we had been in negotiations with the mall for several months. We had a draft contract that we were about to sign. So we were about 6-7 months into the deal with the mall, but the contract wasn't quite signed yet. And, you know, all of a sudden one morning, my phone starts blowing up. Hey, they're going to put a casino at Westmoreland Mall. And I start to think to myself, I hope our deal is still good, because my name wasn't quite on the line yet. And the mall folks were great. You know, they just, you know, they went along with the deal that we had negotiated. And, you know, we've been in touch with the casino. The casino folks actually invited us to Baltimore, to their flagship location, and you know, really showed us what they're all about, how they integrate with the mall and the mall footprint and the community there, and it's just going to be spectacular.
So that's what I was going to ask you. With the casino and with the IronRock, what do we have together?
Together we have something that's going to be really special, because of course we're independent. You know, we're not tied at the hip to those guys in the least. But what they are good at doing, and what they've demonstrated in numerous locations that they're good at doing is they can take a mall complex and they can kind of create an entertainment area. So this whole area is going to turn into just like the place to be. And you know, IronRock being, you know, right on the footprint, it's only going to help us. We're going to have some partnerships, obviously, with the casino, you know, just because they don't necessarily have a restaurant like ours in-house.
Sure.
Their restaurant is more of a sports bar.
Sure.
And you know, so we're going to have some of these reciprocal agreements where if they want to send some people over here to entertain them, high rollers, whatever, we're going to do those types of things. But it's just going to be, you know, once that's done, you know, we're obviously almost a year into business, even though we've stopped and started. It's just going to be a nice destination place to be at Westmoreland Mall.
So Christina, given all your years with your family in the restaurant business in Pittsburgh, is this place the culmination of all that, kind of the peak of all of your experience and historical knowledge about the business?
Yeah, I would say it is. You know, growing up in the business, every restaurant, there was always something we thought, oh, we could have done this better, or oh, in the next one we could do this. And I think what's been wonderful about this project is that we were given the opportunity to start from scratch. And I was also able to still bump some ideas off, you know, off of my mother and my sisters who also grew up in the industry. So I would say absolutely yes. This is definitely the culmination of our wish list.
Dream come true?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Tell us about the menu.
Well, when we decided to do this, it was really important for us to offer really, really quality food. All of our, we source local and natural whenever possible. Our chicken is all natural Gerber chicken. Our spices are created by our executive chef. They're mixed by our executive chef, Arnold Ivy. And, you know, it's just quality food. It's a scratch kitchen. And so all of our dressings are made in-house. It's not like someone, you know, at another restaurant just heating up something that was shipped in, you know. So.
You're getting great reviews.
Oh, thank you.
It's a hit spot. It's a hit spot. IronRock. Okay, now iron I get because that's evocative of, you know, steel, iron, and you know, the resources of the region and so forth. Rock, was that a play on hard rock or
No, it wasn't. You know, the story of our name is kind of a long and winding story, but a lot of the folks in the area know that we actually started out with the name Sedona, and I think maybe Sedona Tap House. And so, you know, we weren't under construction yet. All our construction documents said Sedona, doing a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the engineering, a lot of the things that you need to do to get the development going. Well, throughout that process, we received a certified letter in the mail from a place down south that also had the name Sedona.
You hadn't Googled it first.
Well, you know, I guess we didn't totally understand that that the trademarking was trademarked across the whole country. So evidently, you know, you can do trademarks in different ways. We thought they were far enough that it didn't really matter.
Yeah, really.
But they had a trademark across the country. So, you know, we were left with, hey, you know, we didn't put a shovel in the ground yet. Let's come up with something different. So in the process of doing that, we said, you know, let's make this a 3-person team when we figure this out. Christina, myself, and our trademark attorney. And every time we would come up with a name, we would give it to the trademark attorney, and they would do a search. And what you find out real quick is every single name you could ever think of has been trademarked.
Isn't that frustrating?
Everything.
You think you've come up with something, and you Google and it's there a million times.
Well, even we would come up with things that we would Google and they wouldn't be there. And they would still be trademarked from restaurants that have been closed.
Right.
So it turned into this, you know, we gave them these 10 names. They'd come back, nope, none of them are good. Give them 10 more. And then we were just sitting there one day and discussing Sedona. And I think I said to Christina, you know, I was reading, you know why those rocks in Sedona are red like that? Because she always commented that that's one of the things she really likes about Sedona, those red rocks.
Sure.
I said, those rocks are red because they have iron in them. you know, and the iron kind of gives it that red color. And then we start talking about names. We're like, what about IronRock, you know? And then we started thinking, you know, that kind of has a little bit of a local feel to it with, you know, a little bit of Rolling Rock, a little bit of Iron City.
Very strong.
And we gave it to the trademark attorney, and it was the first name that he came back and said, there's nobody in the country that has this.
We'll take it.
Trademark, we'll take it.
Okay, Tap House. Tap House. Why? That's got a little bit of beer, bar.
You know what? That was really Greg's idea because he wanted the restaurant to have a local vibe, feel, and a feel that it was homey. When you first drive up to this place, of course, it's overwhelming. It almost looks unaffordable because it's so beautiful. And so he felt that by adding Tap House on the end, you know, would make people feel like, oh yeah, anybody can go there. It's just a local tap house. So.
And we deal with that a lot with the looks of the building. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, our goal was to create a beautiful atmosphere that even if you want to have pizza and wings and a taco, you know, you can still have it in a beautiful atmosphere. But we have found out that a lot of people get intimidated and they think it's a ultra expensive restaurant that they can't afford because of the looks of the building.
They see the chandelier. That's not chicken and, you know, that's not wings.
It's not, but you can still come in and, you know, you can still come in and spend, you know, $12, $13 on, you know, a taco or a burger or something, you know, and if you want to come out on a date night and get something a little nicer, you can do that too.
Christine, you're an equestrian. You're a
am.
competitive rider. Tell us about that.
I ride a discipline called dressage. It's an English discipline, but it dates back to the 430 BC. There was a Greek military commander by the name of Xenophon that is very closely associated with the sport. And basically it was developed so that military, like the horses were actually trained to do movements that would actually protect or help against the enemy in war.
Yeah.
So they would perform movements that would either attack the enemy or help evade attack. And so it later turned into a more pristine sport. It's now considered the, you know, ballet on horseback, but it's not how it originated.
So tell us more about where you ride, what you do.
So I've been riding now probably for 30 years. And I have a Grand Prix horse, which means it has achieved the highest level of dressage training, and it can do pretty much all the movements of what is considered competitive dressage today. And I have a youngster by the name of For Finland, aka Finny, who's younger, and I'm just bringing along. He's about a first level horse. So.
Sure. Good. What's ahead now through the fall, into the holidays?
Well, you know, obviously,
Casino.
you know, the casino is going to open in November, which we're all excited about. Heading into the fall, you know, we're looking forward to the shopping season. You know, we don't know how this is all going to take place with COVID, but, you know, hopefully we have a robust shopping season. People still having their Christmas parties for their work. We're hoping to get the live music back inside. We've been doing it outside here. Just to meet the mandated state requirements. But, you know, when we get it back inside, that's when the vibe, at least upstairs here, it's really nice. I think last year we had Willow Hill, who used to be Love Betty, who a lot of the locals here know. We had them for New Year's, and I mean, you just draw hundreds of people just in this upstairs venue. And, you know, we just want to get back to that. And we know, you know, it's going to take a little bit of phasing in with COVID, but you know, we think we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Finally, you're getting people coming in here and saying, "Wow, why isn't this in Pittsburgh?"
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because just before we came upstairs here to meet with you, we were complimented by a really nice couple who asked us why this place wasn't in Wexford, PA, because I guess it's a really happening area in Western Pennsylvania. And again, you know, it's really because we really felt that this area could use a restaurant like this. You know, there are a lot of restaurants, you know, in Pittsburgh where people can have a really great dinner and entertainment, and there just really isn't that here in Westmoreland. So that's why we really wanted to do it here.
And now that you got it up, and did it all come together? Has your vision been realized?
It really has. I mean, everyone who comes in thanks us for bringing something like this into the area. You know, we have a lot of regulars now that we see them here a couple times a week because they just can't get enough of the place. And they can come in, whether they want to have a full dinner, just a bite to eat, a beer, listen to a live band, you know, they can do that. We have so much outdoor seating. We have 3 outdoor seating areas that all have a little bit of a different vibes. One area, 2 areas are covered, 1 area is not. So if you want the sun, you get it. If you don't, we can accommodate you too. 2 bars. One is a little more sophisticated looking on the first floor. Second floor where we have the bands, a little bit more laid back. And it's just almost as if you can go to a different restaurant when you're actually at the same restaurant, depending on your mood or occasion. So
your background is restaurants. Your background is electrical engineering.
Yes.
Which a lot of people may not know. So this is your second achievement, but your first is your primary profession, a company called Keytex in the energy markets.
Yes.
Okay, so
my primary business, and it's still my full-time business, is Keytex Energy. I'm an electrical engineer. Grew up in the energy industry, worked for Allegheny Energy for a lot of years, and then started a company called Keytex Energy. Been in business there about 13 years, but we do energy consulting. We represent large clients such as schools, universities, steel mills, you name it, we represent them. And we basically go out into the markets, we do competitive bidding, we help them through the process of buying their electricity and natural gas, and we basically act as their technical consultant for anything related to energy. We've had folks that are clients of ours say, hey, a university here in town said, hey, you know, someone wants to put a power plant on our property. Here's the deal that they're offering us. You know, we put our experts on it and we look through it. We run the numbers. We tell them if it makes sense or doesn't make sense. So, you know, at the end of the day, we're just, you know, we're a bunch of engineers with a lot of experience in the energy industry, and you know, we represent retail clients.
So your electric bills here will never be too high.
Well, if I do my job, they won't be too high.
It better not be.
Congratulations again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hank. Good, always good to talk to you.
In mentioning Greg's energy consultancy, I should have included that it and he are a huge success. Well, most of the analysts of the region fully expect that when the IronRock and the casino are both operating, there's going to be an influx of people into Greensburg who've not been in the area before, and that's going to boost all businesses. And that's great. Thanks for looking in. Email me at hank@lhtcmedia.com.